Hello and welcome back to Haven and Hearth. I had about a week extra break. Just didn't manage to have the time to get videos ready. So we are back though. I'm hoping to have a normal load of videos this week. As it stands, as I was getting ready to start recording, there were two foxes just kind of hanging out outside the palisade here. So I went and fought them. I fought them without my shield because I just had a bucket in my hand and didn't want them to run away while I went to go get my shield. So I took about half my health, maybe a little over half my health is damage. That's fine. I did take a little bit of wounds, but most of those are just the nicks and knacks. That's 13. I do have two deep cuts, however, at 4 each. That's okay. You can use gauze on those, and I have made some in advance, because you just make that from wool. So we've got that ready. I've got these two foxes here. I'm going to have to do something about that in a minute. But for the moment, we need to get our energy up so that we can actually start healing. But that's okay, because we have a whole bunch of cheese just waiting to be pulled out of the thing. I never ended up pulling it out, which is okay, because it'll sit in its current state until you pull it out of the rack. So we have our Manchego ready to go, which is primarily perception, as you see, and then with secondary of dex. Let's go ahead and see about pulling this out. Where's my inventory? There's my inventory. All right, let's pull these out. And let's go ahead and get it sliced up. Hope that there we go, good. I was going to say, and hope that the game doesn't crash. All right, we've got our trays back. We've got a whole bunch of cheese. We're going to pop upstairs. Are we going to refill our cheese racks? Not right yet. We're going to wait until we have, I don't know, something. Oh, I've kind of run out of space, haven't I? Let's see here. What can I do about this? I am going to need to get the gauze, so I'll need to do that. Let's just kind of stick you guys down there. There we go. All right. One thing that has been good about this break is that if I come over here, you can see my hunger level, my satiety has gone down. Which will make the foods more effective again. Even with the week break, though, it hasn't gone all the way down. It's still sitting at 20%, but considering it was floating around 90, that's actually pretty good. Let's go ahead and eat some of this stuff. We do need, let's see, strength is my highest. I need to raise strength, however. So as long as none of these go over strength, I'm fine. This is primarily perception with a secondary of dex. Well, my perception is actually fairly low, so we can eat a bunch of this. Probably why I made it in the first place. Alright, that's dex. 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 Come on. Why am I getting so much dex? There's perception. That's statistically unlikely that I would get 4 points of dex before I would get my first point of perception. But hey, it happened. There's more dex. There's some perception. There's some more perception. What's my actual perception looking at? 42. Yeah, I can eat the rest of these. There we go. And I'm up into the 30% on that specific food, the Manchego. It brought up my satiety overall 17%. Yeesh. Alright. So we got that. My deck still has some room to grow. I do have some of this chicken chorizo, which is going to do a lot more for my energy level. Although, bringing my will up wouldn't be bad. This has some strength and con on it chance, too. So let's eat some of this flatbread. Yeah. There we go. Now we've actually gotten into the range where I'm going to start healing again, but we're going to need to be doing a bunch of work, so we're going to be using that up. Let's just kind of do that. That's Constitution. Absolutely not the thing I was after. We do need more of the flatbread. I know I have some more hanging around. There you are. Let's just grab all of that I see. Any here? No. What about this one? Yeah. We'll grab some more of that. We'll leave some. We got that halloumi still, too. That's a low energy thing. We'll leave that. Alright. And we'll just kind of toss the flatbread in. We are actually full up on energy, so we can leave that be for the time being. Alright, we are going to need gauze to fix our cuts. Well, I have a few sitting around. We'll grab our lowest quality one since it's a relatively low number of points. That's the wrong thing. Here we go. Alright, health and wounds, gauze, deep cut, treat, and gauze, deep cut, treat. I'm wearing too much. Oh, apparently I can only wear one at a time. I've never run into that situation before. The few times I've gotten deep cuts, it has always just been the one. So, okay. That's a new piece of information. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So I guess we'll have to let the one finish before we move on to the second one. Which is fine. I'm not really planning on doing a whole lot of fighting. Not yet, at least. Not until I get my, stats up much higher. We've got to do something about the sheep. Alright. You can see I've, fairly recently, did stuff with all the crops, because, that's boring. You guys that don't need to, see that. Alright, let's... Alright. Let's take a look at our sheep. Inspect. You're big girl. Alright, I did name a couple of these, and some of them came with names. So I think this was the one that I was planning on keeping. Alright. Let's see. Alright, so we need another... Inspect. Oh, come on. Alright, how about you? Inspect you. Here, 52 quality. What about you? That's Uno. This is the one I planned to get rid of. Alright. I knew the name on that one because this is one of the ones that was pre-named. You can see their overall quality is only 24. That's the one that's been given us the lower quality materials. Can you move out of the way? There we go. Alright, Uno. That's you. Come here. Alright. Oh, okay. That just took a moment. Alright, come on. Come on out. There we go. Alright, now let's get rid of you. Oh, right, I have to... That is the weirdest thing that I have to unleash before I can slaughter. And we'll just take care of this. Alright, and I believe I had set one of the rams to replace the old ram as well. So I'll have to check those. There we go. We finally got rid of a full-grown animal. Let's see. Inspect. Dolly. Whoa, your quality 90. That might even be... I mean, the meat... Oh, that's the quantity. Those are quality... Yeah, well... Let's see. Hey, inspect. I want over there. I want... Shoe. Inspect. No. Shoe. Inspect. Big boy. That's the one I had labeled. Yeah, all, like, other than the just top-end quality on it, other than that, all the other stats are better on Big Boy. So, that's a thing. Is there another ram in here? Is there 3? No. There are only the 2. So what we're... Alright. Shoo. Out of the way. Come on. I did not want you out. Hang on. You. Come here. What are you? Who are you? You're that original one that I'm keeping. Alright, come here. Hey, where are you going? Get back here. Alright, come on. Back in the pen. I thought they wouldn't do this without being... Alright, there should be a thing to let me pull, right? Pull. There we are. Alright, unleash. Now I need to leash Dolly here, which that's the default name, but that is the original sheep that I had. Alright. Come on, guys. Oh. Shoo. Come on. Alright, there we go. Over here. Come on. Okay. Alright, and we'll do this. And slaughter. Okay. So that should leave me with a bunch of lambs I need to get rid of. Okay, nope, there's 3. Alright, so there are 3 of the ewes left. I only want 2. So that means I need to make a decision on one of these guys. You are a Dolly. 52. Jeez, look at some of these stats are really bad. I feel like you're the one I'm gonna end up getting rid of. Let's just do a quick check on the others. Can I get through here, you guys? Come on. That's Big Girl. I'm keeping Big Girl. What about you? Milk quantity is slower, but everything else... Yeah, I'm going to get rid of Dolly. That one is not one that I wanted. Alright, you... I need to get around... Stupid sheep. Hey. Alright. Shoo. No, I didn't want to... Shoo. You also shoo. And you, shoo. Alright. Leash this one. Now let's see if I can... Ah, here we go. Alright, come on. There we go. Alright, over this way. Do. Pull. Alright, now I gotta... Unleash. And slaughter. And I can deal with the lambs at another time. I'm not hurting for the suckling maws, so I'll just deal with those guys off camera. You've seen me deal with the lambs before. I just kind of wanted to, include the culling the adults in, because that's not something I had actually done on camera, even though it's functionally the same. It is mostly just one where you kind of gotta pick that. Whereas with the lambs, if I'm not trying to increase the quality of the adults actively, then that's about the same. Alright, so I've got 3 sheep there I need to get sorted. I've got 2 foxes here I need to get sorted. We can deal with that. There is also... I think I filled up the... Yeah, I pretty much filled up this cupboard, so I'm going to need to build some more. I've made a bunch of hemp fabric because there was the hemp fibers were getting in the way. The flax fibers are starting to get in the way too. But alright. Let me go pull down the fox hides that I have up. I will probably put the 2 fox hides that I get from over there up to dry. Let's just kind of put over here somewhere. These will be my fox hides. There we go. Alright. I'm going to get these carcasses processed and a new cupboard built, for which I will need my bone saw. And I think it might also be time to get a new bone saw. We'll come back after I have the cupboard built and these carcasses processed to do that, I think. I will be right back. Alright, I am back. I got all the carcasses processed. I got all the little bits and pieces squirreled away. But while I was kind of doing that, I had noticed there was growing an uncommon snapdragon. Now, this is only quality 13, but we can fix that. We've got some mulch, which I have been kind of clearing the space out and dumping it over there just so I can kind of get through this compost at the quality 94. If I want higher than, the 77, then I either need to build a better compost bin or put better, better quality stuff in for compost. Oh, but speaking of better quality stuff for compost, um, the 120 millet is no longer my highest. Well, okay, it is currently my highest plant. However, I got my farming up to 127 after all the bonuses, so it now has room to grow. So that's kind of important too. But we'll just come over. We will use this existing pot. What quality was this pot anyway? 35. Not the best quality, but still better than the 13 that I'm going to be putting in it. So it'll help drag it up too. We'll just fill that guy up. We will use our 50 quality water. And plant our snapdragon. And that'll be a few days. I could plant it in the mulch, but I want the quality to go up. The quality won't go up in the mulch. Should I harvest this? I probably... You know what? I'll look at my other one, because I have that Liberty Cap in the other one. Can I harvest the Liberty Cap? No. It is not ready yet. So I'll just leave that until I can do the Liberty Cap and call it good. Okay. What else? I mean, I need to make more of those toy chariots, too, because I'm out of those. What else? There's so much stuff. I gotta catch up on so many things. Just because I was able to, basically take a little time off. Yeah. Alright. I need to get the toy chariots again. When I was processing the farming stuff, all the plants and stuff, I did end up making some more of like the dolls and the bouquets, things like that, which I have already kind of going through. I put some of the brains in here because the foxes had the small brains and the tiny brains came from the sheep. So, I kind of got those going. But I am out of toy chariots, and the toy chariots were really what kept things going in the interim here. I did get that cupboard. There we go. There's something I can do really quick. I have got to clean out some of these, the like coops and the hutches, because I've just kind of been letting stuff build up. Yeah, let's get rid of these chickens. Yeah. And then there's a similar situation going on with the rabbits. But I was kind of out of space. I didn't really have the space to store these guys. And processing them will not make them take up less space. Well, I suppose maybe they would. The chickens in particular might. But definitely not the rabbits. And while I took some time to kind of catch up on a few things before I started, like the farming, I was not going to take the time to process all these guys before starting to record. Because, I have time to record. I don't have that much time to record, you know? Alright. Especially not if I want to edit and upload it and all that other things. What editing? Yeah, I know. I don't do a whole lot of editing. Alright. Let's see about the rabbits. I'll skip to the rabbits. I can always grab the rest of the chickens, but I kind of want to see where the rabbit situation stands. Yeah. Actually, I think that was all of them, wasn't it? I will sometimes do the similar thing in the one that I'm just keeping the spare males in. But hey, there we go. All right, that actually was all of it. Excellent. 2 trips was all I needed. But you can see why I was like, yeah, I need another cupboard. I should probably build another house of some sort down on the mine level, which you can do, and then put some cupboards down there. Just kind of make it a storage house. I should probably go shear the sheep as well. Oh, man, but you know what? I need to do something about my tools. So one of the sheep that I, processed, everything came out at 54, which pretty much means that my tool was nerfing all of the quality because my tool is 54. So I'm going to need to upgrade that somehow. I'm going to need to upgrade my saw because it's 50 or 38 when I'm working with 50 quality materials that I could be using on it. So that's definitely a thing. That means I should check my survival because survival is only 40. Let's see if we can't get that up a bit. 60? Yeah, we're going to do that. There we go. That way, my survival is higher than the tool quality. So the survival won't be dragging it down. I'm actually going to hold off on the actual axe, even though that's what I was saying kind of needed it, because some of the materials I have are significantly more than that. Because, like, let's see here. That's 75. Just random stone out of that pile that I knew was higher quality stuff. 75. Just first one off the top. So, and I know there was like some 100 and somethings around too, so I kind of want to get my survival higher than that. But what I can do here is grab a bow. Alright, that's 59. I came over, I put the 54 bones I just got right here. And that should be good for making a better bone saw. Intelligence is the other thing that caps that. 46. I don't think I really... Oh yeah, my charisma's lower at the moment because of the gauze. 46. That is gonna kind of hurt things a little. Do I have any easy way to up my int? That's not easy. How am I doing there? I could eat like 4 or 5 of these without really wasting much. Let's see. Feast. I do want that open so I can see. Almost. Do I got anything else? Well, you know, I could probably eat a blueberry. I got plenty. Int. There we go. Well, I got 1 point of int at least. 47. Alright, it'll drag it down a little bit less. I've got a bunch more of the bones, and that's the hard part at the moment, so that will have to do. Let's make ourselves another saw. There we go, 55? The fact that it is actually higher quality than my axe is good. Alright, so we're going to do that. We're going to take that right there. I will put away... Not in there, though. Hey, come on. Do what I want, not this weird thing you're doing. Alright. Put our bone saw there. That is just going to be a backup in case, for whatever reason, something happens to the existing one. Alright. That means that I'll be able to get some higher quality boards, which means I should be able to make some higher quality other things. Speaking of, I should probably start looking at some of this stuff, because some of it I grabbed, others I didn't. That's only quality 25. I feel like we can do better than that. Probably not this exact moment, but I feel like we can do better. This is quality 24. This will affect the quality of the rope, which would then go into this guy. I think it's definitely about time for a round of upgrades. Just about time. I will... Oh, I still need to do those stupid toy chariots. I can process the lambs off camera. What else? What else? Just so many little things that need to be done. Got all these foxes and stuff. Like, look at that. I have a 121 quality piece of marble. It would be great if I could turn that into an axe, but my skill at the moment, my skill and probably an attribute. Let's take a look at that one. Yeah, that's also int. My int and my survival would both drag that way down. So I need to have at least my skill higher, preferably my int higher as well before I go using that. But at the same time, I need my tools better. Ugh, always something to do. There is always something to do, especially when you left for a little bit. Okay, I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap the episode up here. In between, I will work on more of this catching up. Get things processed, get, more like toy chariots and other curiosities made. Do things like, refill the, the feed for the chickens and the rabbits. Stuff just in general like that we're behind on because I wasn't able to be in a whole lot. Oh, and of course, I had left it in the table because we had our first failure on the plant pot. That was the mushroom, the poppy cap, that had failed. So I just left it in the table. I'll go ahead and get a new one of those going and hopefully plant it in the interim as well. Yeah, this was just an episode of playing catch up. That's really all this was. But there's a bunch of little small tasks you just kind of gotta keep on top of. But that is going to do it for this episode. So, until next time, have a good one.